In this video, we honor the legendary wrestlers who have reflecting on their immense contributions to the wrestling world. Their dedication, passion, and influence continue to inspire fans and future generations. We also discuss heartfelt news about Bill Goldberg, whose recent developments have deeply moved his supporters. Join us as we celebrate their incredible lives and unforgettable legacies. Subscribe now to ensure their inspiring stories live on and remain a source of motivation for all. Del Wilkes, born on December 8, 1961, was an American professional wrestler best known by his ring name, the Patriot. With a career that spanned the late 1980s through the 1990s, Wilkes carved out a unique place in wrestling history through his red, white, and blue persona that embodied all-American pride. His masked character resonated deeply with fans during a time of strong national sentiment, making him a standout figure in the industry. Wilkes began his wrestling journey in the mid-1980s, competing in various independent promotions before rising to prominence in major organizations like the American Wrestling Federation, AWF, World Championship Wrestling, WCW, and later the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, now WWE. His in-ring style blended power and technical skill, and his patriotic character made him an instant fan favorite. In 1997, Wilkes reached the pinnacle of mainstream success in the WWF as the Patriot. Donning a mask and American flag-themed attire, he entered into a memorable feud with Bret the Hitman Hart during Hart's anti-American storyline. Their matches were intense and emotionally charged, further solidifying Wilkes' role as a symbol of American pride. He also clashed with major names like Vader and teamed up with other stars in tag team competition. Despite a relatively short run in the WWF due to injuries, Wilkes left a lasting impression. Outside the ring, he was known for his humility, approachability, and dedication to the wrestling craft. After retiring, he openly discussed his battles with substance abuse and became a voice for recovery and resilience. Del Wilkes, but his legacy as the Patriot lives on. He is remembered for his impactful character, heartfelt performances, and the values he represented, inspiring fans and fellow wrestlers alike. Silver King, born Cesar Cuauhtemoc Gonzalez Barón, carved out an unforgettable legacy in the vibrant world of lucha libre. The son of the legendary Dr. Wagner, he embraced his heritage by stepping into the ring under the name Silver King, complete with a shimmering silver mask that became his trademark. With a strong foundation in technical grappling and natural charisma, he quickly climbed the ranks of Mexican wrestling and gained international acclaim. In Mexico, Silver King formed a dynamic tag team with El Texano, capturing multiple championships and thrilling crowds with their electrifying chemistry and high-flying style. His talents didn't go unnoticed beyond Mexico. Silver King eventually joined World Championship Wrestling, WCW, in the 1990s, where he competed alongside a roster of international stars during the height of wrestling's global boom. Outside the ring, Silver King showcased his versatility by stepping into the world of acting. He appeared in films and television, most famously playing the villain Ramses in the 2006 comedy Nacho Libre, opposite Jack Black. His ability to connect with audiences, whether performing in the ring or on screen, made him a beloved figure across cultures. Tragically, Silver King's life was cut short on May 11, 2019, when he collapsed during a match in London, and his sudden sent shockwaves through the wrestling world, highlighting the intense physical demands wrestlers endure. Despite his untimely passing, Silver King's legacy lives on. He remains a celebrated icon of lucha libre, inspiring new generations of wrestlers with his passion, dedication, and flair. His contributions to both professional wrestling and entertainment continue to be honored by fans around the world. Chris Benoit, born on May 21, 1967 in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, was a gifted and technically skilled professional wrestler who left a lasting impact on the industry. Known for his intense, no-nonsense in-ring style and incredible work ethic, Benoit built a reputation as one of the most respected performers of his era. Benoit's wrestling journey began in the late 1980s with early success in Japan under the nickname The Crippler. His technical precision and brutal suplexes quickly earned him a loyal fan base. He later made his mark in North America, competing in ECW, WCW, and WWE. In WCW, he was part of the famed Four Horsemen stable and became a fan favorite for his hard-hitting matches. His transition to WWE further showcased his skill as he engaged in unforgettable rivalries and classic matches. Throughout his career, Benoit held numerous championships, including the WCW World Heavyweight Championship, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and the WWE Intercontinental Championship. His Royal Rumble victory in 2004 and emotional WrestleMania 20 win, where he shared the spotlight with real-life friend Eddie Guerrero, remain some of wrestling's most iconic moments. However, Benoit's legacy is marred by tragedy. In June 2007, he was involved in a heartbreaking double murder-suicide that claimed the lives of his wife and son before his own. The incident devastated the wrestling world and prompted widespread discussion about mental health, brain trauma, and the pressures of professional wrestling. Today, Chris Benoit's legacy remains deeply conflicted. While many still regard him as one of the greatest technical wrestlers of all time, the horrific nature of his has led to his near-complete erasure from WWE history. His story serves as both a testament to wrestling excellence and a sobering reminder of unseen struggles behind the spotlight. Steve Dr. Williams, born on May 14, 1960, was a powerhouse in both football and professional wrestling, earning a legendary status with his unmatched strength and intensity. Before stepping into the wrestling ring, Williams was a standout defensive tackle at the University of Oklahoma, where his grit and athleticism made him a force on the football field. Transitioning to wrestling in the 1980s, Williams quickly made a name for himself in promotions like the National Wrestling Alliance, NWA, and All Japan Pro Wrestling, AJPW. His rugged in-ring style, explosive power, and fearless approach captured the attention of fans around the globe. Williams' reputation as a dominant competitor was solidified when he won the prestigious AJPW Triple Crown Heavyweight Championship, showcasing his skill on an international stage. One of the defining aspects of his career was his partnership and rivalry with fellow toughman Terry Gordy, forming the formidable tag team, the Miracle Violence Connection. His legendary bouts with icons such as The Undertaker also remain etched in wrestling history as some of the most intense of the era. Outside the ring, Williams faced his toughest opponent, throat cancer. He battled the disease with the same resilience that defined his career, openly discussing his journey and raising awareness. His fight inspired many, both inside and outside the wrestling community. Steve Williams leaving behind a legacy built on toughness, determination, and respect. Doctor was more than a nickname. It was a symbol of his relentless spirit and dominance. His contributions to sports entertainment continue to influence new generations of wrestlers and fans, ensuring that his legacy as a true warrior of the ring will never be forgotten. Howard Finkel, affectionately known as The Fink, was a legendary figure in the world of professional wrestling, celebrated for his iconic role as the first official ring announcer for the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, now known as WWE. Born on June 7, 1950, in Brooklyn, New York, Finkel joined the WWF in 1975 and quickly became an essential voice of the company, with a career that spanned over 4 decades. Finkel's deep, booming voice and impeccable timing made him instantly recognizable. His signature phrase, "and ni dubu," delivered during championship title changes, became one of the most electrifying moments of any event. Whether it was the main event of WrestleMania or a weekly television show, Finkel brought a level of gravitas and authenticity that elevated every match he announced. Beyond the microphone, Finkel contributed significantly behind the scenes. He was involved in creative processes, including helping shape early storylines and working on production elements. Notably, he played a key role in establishing the WWE Hall of Fame, a project that highlighted his deep respect for the wrestling industry and its pioneers. Inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2009, Finkel was honored for a career that helped define the golden era of wrestling. Beloved by fans and respected by performers, he was more than just an announcer. He was the trusted voice of generations of wrestling memories. Howard Finkel, leaving behind a legacy that continues to resonate throughout the wrestling world. His contributions remain deeply cherished, and his passion for the business lives on in every passionate chant, every historic moment, and every heartfelt tribute from those he inspired. Finkel's voice may be gone, but his echo will forever ring in the halls of wrestling history. Big Boss Man, born Ray Washington, Traylor Jr. on May 2, 1963, was a towering figure in professional wrestling, best remembered for his run in the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, now WWE. Before stepping into the squared circle, Traylor worked as a prison guard, an experience that shaped his wrestling persona. Adopting the role of the Big Boss Man, he portrayed a hard-hitting, no-nonsense law enforcement officer who patrolled the ring with a nightstick and a strict sense of justice. Traylor began wrestling in the mid-1980s and rose to fame with Jim Cornette's Midnight Express before transitioning to singles competition. As Big Boss Man, he became a fan favorite during the late 80s and early 90s, known for his intense rivalries and commanding presence. Among his most memorable feuds were battles with the Big Show and the Mountie. His jailhouse match with the Mountie remains a standout moment in WWE history, underlining his character's unique law and order theme. Boss Man's career also included a stint in World Championship Wrestling, WCW, where he briefly wrestled under the name The Boss, a character closely tied to his WWF identity. Throughout his career, he captured the WWF Hardcore Championship and enjoyed multiple tag team successes. Tragically, Ray Traylor following a heart attack. His was deeply felt across the wrestling world, with peers and fans alike honoring his legacy. Remembered as both a fierce competitor and a respected figure behind the scenes, Big Boss Man left an enduring mark on the industry. His character paved the way for future enforcers in wrestling, and his contributions continue to be celebrated by generations of fans. Jay Briscoe, born Jamin Pugh on January 25, 1984, in Sandy Fork, Delaware, was a legendary figure in professional wrestling, best known for his work in Ring of Honor, ROH. Alongside his brother Mark Briscoe, Jay formed the iconic Briscoe Brothers tag team, becoming synonymous with ROH's identity and success. The Briscoe brothers began their wrestling journey at a young age, training and competing in various independent promotions before making their ROH debut in 2004-2002. Their unique blend of hard-hitting brawling, high-impact moves, and raw chemistry earned them recognition as one of the greatest tag teams in wrestling history. Together, they captured a record number of ROH World Tag Team Championships, cementing their status as ROH legends. Jay Briscoe was not just a tag team specialist, he also thrived as a singles competitor. In 2013, he won the ROH World Championship and later became a two-time title holder, earning respect for his no-nonsense, intense approach inside the ring. His gritty promos, fearless style, and unwavering loyalty to ROH made him a beloved figure among fans and peers. Outside the ring, Jay was a devoted husband and father who cherished his family and community. Despite his rugged in-ring persona, those close to him knew him as a kind and grounded man, deeply committed to his loved ones. Tragically, Jay Briscoe. His sudden left a profound impact on the wrestling world, sparking an outpouring of tributes from fans and fellow wrestlers. Jay's legacy lives on through his unforgettable matches, passionate spirit, and the enduring influence he left on independent wrestling and ROH. The Iron Sheik, born March 15, 1942 in Tehran, Iran, was a legendary professional wrestler whose larger-than-life persona made him a cultural icon, leaving behind a legacy that stretched far beyond the wrestling ring. Before stepping into the world of sports entertainment, the Iron Sheik was a highly skilled amateur wrestler, representing Iran in numerous international competitions. In the 1970s, he moved to the United States and transitioned into professional wrestling, where he would soon become one of the most notorious and beloved villains of his era. Donning traditional Iranian garb and sporting a trademark mustache, the Iron Sheik crafted a villainous persona that played perfectly into the high drama of professional wrestling. His charisma, distinct style, and fierce in-ring ability quickly made him a standout. He gained mainstream fame in the 1980s as part of the World Wrestling Federation, now WWE, where his rivalry with Hulk Hogan became the stuff of wrestling legend. His 1983 WWF Championship win over Bob Backlund cemented his place in wrestling history. Though often cast as the heel, the Iron Sheik was beloved for his commitment to the role and his unfiltered, often hilarious interviews. In later years, he became a cult favorite on social media, where his outrageous commentary and candid reflections drew a new generation of fans. A two-time world champion and an enduring figure in wrestling lore, the Iron Sheik's influence on the sport is undeniable. His ability to entertain, provoke, and connect with audiences across generations ensures his place as one of professional wrestling's most unforgettable and impactful personalities. In the world of professional wrestling, few names evoke the same immediate recognition, intensity, and explosive energy as Bill Goldberg. Born William Scott Goldberg on December 27, 1966, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, this powerhouse athlete would go on to become one of the most dominant and enigmatic figures in wrestling history. While most fans know him as the unstoppable force who carved an unforgettable path through World Championship Wrestling, WCW, and later WWE, Goldberg's journey began far from the squared circle, in the rugged trenches of American football. Goldberg's early career saw him line up as a defensive tackle in the National Football League, NFL, playing for teams such as the Los Angeles Rams and the Atlanta Falcons. Though injuries curtailed what could have been a longer career on the gridiron, fate had other plans. Those same athletic traits, power, explosiveness, and unmatched physical intensity, would later become the hallmark of his wrestling persona. His football background gave him a unique edge in wrestling, and when WCW took a chance on him in the mid-1990s, the industry was never the same again. The meteoric rise in WCW. Goldberg's wrestling career officially began in 1997, but it didn't take long for the fans to realize that this was no ordinary rookie. WCW capitalized on his athletic background and raw charisma, crafting a streak-based storyline that would soon become legendary. Match after match, opponent after opponent, Goldberg plowed through the competition with a ferocity that made fans chant his name in unison before he even stepped through the curtain. His trademark entrance, flanked by security guards, sparks flying, smoke rising, became the stuff of wrestling legend. With a fierce scowl and unbreakable demeanor, Goldberg charged to the ring like a gladiator. Then, with his devastating spear and the jackhammer, he left destruction in his wake. The numbers spoke for themselves. An unprecedented 173-match undefeated streak that captured the imagination of fans around the world and became one of the most iconic records in wrestling history. During this time, Goldberg was more than a wrestler. He was a phenomenon. WCW placed him at the center of its programming, pushing him as the face of a promotion desperately trying to compete with WWE, then WWF, during the infamous Monday Night Wars. In July 1998, Goldberg defeated Hulk Hogan to win the WCW World Heavyweight Championship, a moment that sent shockwaves through the industry and cemented his status as a top-tier star. Transition to WWE and sporadic returns. When WCW was purchased by WWE in 2001, many wondered whether Goldberg's era of dominance was over. Initially, he stayed away, preferring to distance himself from the wrestling world. But in 2003, Goldberg made his long-awaited WWE debut. Though his first WWE run was brief, lasting just 1 year, it featured a memorable feud with The Rock and culminated in Goldberg capturing the World Heavyweight Championship. Still, Goldberg wasn't satisfied with how that chapter ended. Years before he returned to WWE again, this time in 2016. It was during this second run that Goldberg reignited his career, confronting none other than Brock Lesnar in a feud that would prove more successful than anyone could have predicted. What started as a nostalgic attraction quickly evolved into one of the most high-profile rivalries of the era. In under 2 minutes, Goldberg shocked the WWE Universe by defeating Lesnar at Survivor Series 2016, a feat few expected. From there, he rode the momentum into a Universal Championship reign and a WrestleMania main event. This second act allowed Goldberg to connect with a new generation of fans while still delivering his classic, hard-hitting performances. Nicknames, nostalgia, and Hollywood. Throughout his wrestling journey, Goldberg acquired a slew of nicknames that reflected his towering presence and legacy. He's been called Da Man, the Icon, and the Myth. These titles weren't just branding gimmicks. They symbolized the aura Goldberg carried into every match. His entrance, complete with pounding drums and ominous sparks, remains one of the most iconic in professional wrestling. Outside the ring, Goldberg also found success in Hollywood. He appeared in films such as The Longest Yard and Universal Soldier, The Return, as well as various television shows and reality programs. Although his acting career never reached the heights of peers like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Goldberg's crossover appeal helped maintain his relevance during wrestling hiatuses. The final match looms retirement in 2025. Now, after decades of dominance and several surprise returns, Goldberg has confirmed that 2025 will mark the end of his wrestling career. The announcement has sent shockwaves through the industry and stirred passionate debates among fans. Who should face Goldberg in his final match? What should the outcome be? Will it be a torch-passing moment or a victorious farewell? Goldberg himself has expressed interest in facing WWE's current Intercontinental Champion and dominant force, Gunther. The Austrian powerhouse has carved out a legacy of his own with a record-breaking title reign and a reputation for hard-hitting matches that harken back to the no-frills style of old-school wrestling. A clash between Goldberg and Gunther represents more than just a match. It's a symbolic collision between two generations of brutal strength and pride. For Goldberg, the choice of opponent matters deeply. He doesn't just want a paycheck or a final curtain call. He wants a match that means something. A final war. A definitive exclamation point on a career that helped shape modern wrestling. A wrestler at a crossroads. Rumors, friction, and legacy. Of course, no wrestling retirement is complete without a dose of backstage intrigue. Reports have emerged that Goldberg's relationship with WWE management has become strained in recent years. Some insiders claim that he's been frustrated with the company's creative direction, particularly its focus on younger, modern stars like Roman Reigns and Gunther. Goldberg's concerns reportedly extend beyond personal grievances. He has allegedly voiced displeasure over how legends are treated, used as one-off attractions rather than woven into long-term storytelling. To some, Goldberg's final match is an opportunity for him to go out on his terms. To others, it's a test of whether WWE can still honor the legacy of aging stars in an era driven by social media trends and younger demographics. Another question looms large. Will Goldberg go out with a win or a loss? Traditional wrestling logic often favors a veteran doing the honors and losing to put over the next generation. However, WWE has a long-standing habit of offering legends a feel-good send-off. Should Goldberg defeat Gunther in his final match, it would create a moment of catharsis and finality. If he loses, it could serve as a poetic passing of the torch. Goldberg's enduring commitment to fitness and legacy. No matter the outcome, what can't be questioned is Goldberg's dedication. At 58 years old, he remains in astonishing physical condition. His daily training regimen, diet, and mental discipline are a testament to his enduring passion for the business. Unlike many of his peers, Goldberg has maintained a level of physicality that allows him to still compete at a believable and impactful level. He's not chasing glory for vanity's sake. Goldberg has made it clear that his upcoming retirement is about respect for himself, the business, and the fans who have supported him for nearly 3 decades. He knows the wrestling industry has changed, and while he might not fully agree with every modern evolution, he understands that his role is now that of a legacy act, a reminder of what wrestling once was and what it can still be in fleeting, powerful moments. Controversies and criticism. To be fair, Goldberg's career has not been without criticism. Some detractors argue that his in-ring style lacked depth, relying too heavily on short matches and brute force. Others point to incidents where Goldberg's physical intensity may have led to injury, most notably during a 2019 match with The Undertaker in Saudi Arabia, which was widely panned due to miscommunications and dangerous spots. There's also the matter of missed opportunities. Despite his star power, Goldberg has never been heavily involved in elevating younger talent or long-term storylines. Many of his matches were one-offs, leaving little room for storytelling continuity. This has led some fans to view his returns as nostalgic cash grabs rather than essential parts of WWE's broader narrative. Still, for every criticism, there is a roaring counterpoint. Goldberg's ability to captivate an audience remains unparalleled. His presence alone generates a reaction that few others in the business can replicate. For a generation of fans, Goldberg is wrestling distilled into its purest, most visceral form. Easy Busk, a final bow, what lies ahead. As the clock ticks down to 2025, anticipation builds for what promises to be a monumental farewell. Whether it's Gunther, Roman Reigns, or an unexpected opponent, Goldberg's last match will be about legacy, closure, and the celebration of a man who changed the business with every thunderous spear and seismic jackhammer. There's no doubt that WWE will want to capitalize on the emotional magnitude of the moment. Merchandise, documentaries, Hall of Fame tributes. Goldberg's farewell tour is likely to be expansive. But the true payoff will come in the match itself, when Goldberg steps through the smoke one last time, fists clenched, eyes locked, ready for war. In the end, Goldberg's retirement is more than the end of a career. It's the end of an era. His rise was meteoric, his presence electric, and his legacy complex but undeniably impactful. From his WCW streak to his WWE comebacks, from the roar of the crowd to the silence of reflection, Goldberg's journey has been uniquely his own. Conclusion. Farewell to Da Man. Bill Goldberg isn't just a wrestler. He's a symbol of intensity, dominance, and timeless charisma. Whether he walks out of his final match victorious or not, his legacy is already secured. He gave fans moments of awe, matches that left us breathless, and a persona that felt larger than life. As he prepares for the final spear and jackhammer of his storied career, fans across the world will unite one more time in a thunderous chant, Goldberg, Goldberg, Goldberg. In 2025, the curtain will fall, but the legend will live on.